here. I'm so interested in seeing what him and Quinn Ewers do this year. There's been so much hype.
We should have a pretty dangerous running back in Blake Corum.
Maryland's gone. Talia Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
A little too backyard footballers.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that's Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, Saturday, August 19th, 1 week, just 1 week, and you see what with the guy that's just as excited as I am, host of Restoring the Roar, Alex Loosman. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. This last week can't go by fast enough. I'm ready to see meaningful games. I know we've got the NFL preseason going on. I'm kind of over it already. Let's get meaningful games going. Let's get the starters against starters, hitting other teams, and let's have games that mean something.
Absolutely, man. I am just here chomping at the bit, waiting just to see that first game, going over rosters, going over schedules, just like, come on, let's get this thing rolling, man. I'm right there with you. And it looks like our people in the comments are feeling the same way. My shoulder already hurts from chopping. Go Noles, absolutely. And Alec, or you know what? Yes, truth be told, Alec, I do have a little special spot in my heart for Oregon. Shout out to Bo Nix. I always love what the high, fast-paced offense you guys bring, unless they come up against my Tar Heels. I still haven't forgotten. 1 week, and then it's erased. No more last year, Alec. He said, "Don't worry, I can hook you up with a jersey, Mr. Spencer." Hey, I'll wear it too. I'll rock it. But look, ladies and gentlemen, like we said before, it is 1 week away. College football will be here next week. As you've seen, we're at week 2 of the preseason in the NFL. So we have been able to see some of those guys that got drafted a year ago or in April. So it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see, man. And we're definitely going to get into it. Also going to talk about some linebackers and update our Mascot Madness. And our going for 2 is going to be a little interesting today. We got a nice little message from somebody that dons that maize and blue, and we're gonna share it with you guys, and we're gonna give our reply to that. Oh, history remains supreme. I can dig it. But look, first and foremost, we have to do this, and there's been a lot of talk about a little brother, about a team that dons that green and that white. But in this household, I don't know if you can see it around, but as a matter of fact, it runs deep here. It runs deep here. And as that, I have to do this because he did play quarterback for Washington. Mr. You Like That, Captain Kirk. Happy birthday. Kirk Cousins' birthday is today. How old is he? He's 30-something.
I was going to say he was drafted in 2012. So probably 32, 33, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, hey, happy birthday to you, Mr. Chains wearing, dancing and all this stuff. Whatever, man. Mr. Forever Young, man. Happy birthday to you. Look, Misador said, I really think the Chicago Bears have a chance of winning the Big Ten this season. Wow. Hey, we're going to see. It's going to be an interesting year for Chicago, man. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Justin Fields, man. This year.
Who's that comment?
Who is it? Is that you, Kat? Ew, MSC. I can. Oh no, that's probably Kate.
I was gonna say. I'm thinking. I don't think that's Kat.
Yeah, I was like, that's not Kat. Yeah. What's going on? Oh, and then Alex said, I completely forgot Michigan State existed. Don't let them play y'all, because they will beat y'all, Alex. Well, maybe not this year. Listen, we got to get off Michigan State. Because I can't defend them that much. I don't even know who they have at quarterback. Matter of fact, their quarterback from last year is starting at Auburn, right? Didn't he get the starting gig?
Peyton Thorne's the starter at Auburn.
Yeah, between Peyton Thorne being a starter at Auburn and then Graham Mertz being the starter at Florida. Oh, watch out, Vanderbilt, man. We about to come up. Because these other teams, oof, it's going to be rough.
Yeah,
If
Peaches
Eric...
is going to go start for Auburn. I mean, for Vanderbilt, sorry.
Good old Vandy. Eric Kelly was one who's saying that. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. You already know about the EU, MSU. I can agree with Alex on that. Yeah. Alex said, did they though? That's crazy when they came into Alpha Stadium and got smacked. The fuck? Oh, shit. Well, hey. Well, I guess so. Sometimes. What's up, Johnny? Look, but hey, like we said, a week away, week 0 matchups are here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matchups with 2 teams that are in the top 25. Alex, I'm going to come to you first. You know, Notre Dame, USC, a couple of these guys are playing, and but the rest of it's kind of a bunch of not no names, but lesser talent. What are you looking forward to? Yeah, what are you looking forward to out of week 0, other than the fact that it's back?
I was just gonna say that's the main thing, that it's back. I want to see Sam Hartman and Notre Dame. That's the first thing I want to see.
Yep.
I want to see how good they look right off the bat, because if they're firing on all cylinders right now, Notre Dame is very dangerous this year, and I think that's a very real possibility. And then after that, I mean, San Jose State's a team that, I mean, they're giving USC 30 points. I don't know if I like USC that much over them.
Yeah.
I want to see how close San Jose State can keep that. And the other thing I want to see, speaking of Vanderbilt, I want to see if they have a stadium to play in, because it's coming real close, and they're still working on that stadium. So, I want to see if they got a stadium to play in.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and yeah, I'm eager to see what they look like this year, because we saw last year. I think they went 3-1. They only lost to Wake Forest with Sam Hartman on that team early in the year, and they have a similar kind of schedule earlier in this season. So it's very possible that they could go, 3-1, maybe 4-1. I mean, they play like a Hawaii, I think UNLV. They play a bunch of lower teams, albeit Vandy's not as great, but we've seen what Clark Lee's been bringing up with them. So yeah, I'm definitely eager to see that. San Jose State and USC, obviously I think it's going to be a blowout, but at the same time, that quarterback at San Jose State, was it Cordero? Yeah, he's a senior this year. He's played the last couple of years. Andrew, he'll tell you about him because he bet on him a lot last year. So he always comes to play, and I love that they have that senior starter in there. And at the very least, I'm interested in seeing somebody that you brought up out of Ohio. What is that? You brought up wasn't the running back, or what, did I bring it? It was quarterback, Rory quarterback, and then Bengura at running back, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, both those guys are upperclassmen. They're playing San Diego State, who is no slouch, but let's see what they're going to bring into this season. But I'm really interested, and we love the MAC. The MAC conference doesn't get enough love, and I definitely want to see that game. But for some of the other games, University of Texas El Paso will be playing Jacksonville State at 5:30. UMass plays New Mexico State. Moving on. And then FIU goes to Louisiana Tech. Couple of those other games, but I think you said it at the beginning, Alex. It doesn't matter who's playing right now.
I will be watching all weekend next weekend. I can tell you that much.
I watch each and every game that comes on. I'm too excited for it.
I'm gonna have like 3, 4, 5 screens going wherever. Everywhere in the house there's gonna be a game going on.
Right. Going here to here to here, and probably playing video games myself. Like, I need it all. I need it all, man. Nathan said, "Happy Saturday, fellas." What's up, Nathan?
I got you, Nate.
Absolutely. Johnny said, "I want to see the Bucks." Hey, Alex, I love this comment. I do too. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to miss what, at least the potential, the thought of what Dion could do.
Well, and especially against a team like TCU, who they also have so much up in the air because they lost their 3 most important players on offense. lost Travis Hodges Tomlinson. Now they've got a lot of transfer portal guys coming in, more specifically a lot of Alabama guys coming in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the talent has kind of been replenished, but it's like, who's taking over for those 4 key players with Duggan, Kendre Miller, Quentin Johnston, and Hodges Tomlinson? Like, that's a lot to replace. And I said it last week, I think on the NFL edition, I think Colorado might play spoiler here. I could see them getting that win.
Ooh. I know I sent you what was that? I sent you the list, something off IG where they were predicting the conferences. And then they did with the Pac-12, and they had them at like 2-10 or something like that. And I was like,
yeah, something real low.
I'd give them a little bit more than that. They also had USC as undefeated, and with that, unless their defense has upgraded, 10 wins maybe. I don't know about undefeated.
Yeah, 2-10 for Colorado, undefeated for USC, 11-1 Washington, 10-2 Oregon, 10-2 Oregon State, Utah 8-4.
What?
Yeah, I don't see that. UCLA also 8-4. Cal, who's been awful for years, 6-6. Don't know about that.
No.
Arizona, who's been awful for a while, 6-6.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a few of those ones that you sent me, and I don't agree with. So,
because I'm looking at the last 2, Cal and Arizona, where you're just like, what do you see different? I mean, I don't know that they're bringing in people, and boatload, in truckloads to come over there and play for that school, especially now that they are not even certain they're not even going to be in the Pac-12 next year. So, 6-6, that's wishful thinking in my opinion. But who knows?
Well, in the ACC one, they had you 7-5. I don't see that either.
I'm trying to look at 5 games that we can lose, and not trying to, say North Carolina is so great, but I'm seriously like, dude, Drake could win, 4 or 5 of them himself. Like, he's got that ability, so we only need to win a couple more. So, 7-5 is rough. 7-5. I saw that one too. I didn't like that one.
The most egregious one for the ACC, Miami 10-2.
Yeah. Yeah, not yet. They ain't ready yet.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Alex said we need Sean to run through a paper wall to break into these seasons. I mean, I'm doing it. Yes. I will absolutely do that. No, let's go.
Yeah.
What is going on? Oh, yeah. Good old Tuesday Maxon. Love it. Love it. Hey, this is coming.
I think the tentative deadline is first week of August next year.
And hey, let's say this right now because you and I and Will had this conversation. The new NCAA 24 will only be on next gen consoles. It will not be on PS4. It won't be on Xbox 360 or even Xbox One. Like, you got to get, what is it, Xbox X or X Series or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. I forget what they're at now.
Yeah. I feel like with a Samsung and iPhone got people, it's like, oh, what do you have? Samsung? Oh. It's like, I love this. What are you talking about? So,
well,
good old Scott. I may or may not be in my pajamas. Don't. Why are you calling me out, Scott? Come on, buddy. Oh, here we go. I'm not sold on Colorado.
Well, it depends what. Yeah, see, and that's right where I'm at too, Nathan. I think 4-6.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at this year. I think the goal this year should be to be bowl eligible.
Yeah.
Because if anyone can tell me the last time Colorado was bowl eligible, please do, because I don't know.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. With how terrible they were last year, you only expect to see improvement, and especially with all the stuff that came out. They sold out the spring game, and you know what I'm saying? They had all that attention there. Obviously, Shador and Shiloh Sanders under Coach Dion. All those recruits with the top corner of last year, the top corner of this year, both coming. At the very least, you expect them to put a good product on the field, even if they can't get W's yet. I mean, you expect them not have so much success early, but I mean, definitely not 2-10. Let's say that. But you expect something. You expect something.
Yeah, I mean, the tough part is, especially early, you don't have tape on Colorado. You don't know what Colorado's going to do. I mean, you can look at some of the Jackson State stuff, but you can't guarantee Deion's running the same stuff he was running there because he's got different players to run with, right? Like, there's so many different variables that you don't have film on Deion's team this year. So they could catch a lot of teams early.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have film on Shedeur Sanders. You don't have film. I mean, you do from Jackson State, but again, like you said, are they doing that same offense? And you want to see if he can rise to the next level. I mean, Jackson State, all respect to my HBCUs and all that stuff, but there's a reason why it's Jackson State and it's not Colorado, it's not Big Ten, it's not top tier, Division I football.
Mm-hmm.
So that transition is not easy for anybody, but
No.
At the end of the day, if you can play, you can play. And if you're the offspring of Deion Sanders, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So, man, they are going back and forth this offseason.
They are. I am.
Okay. Woo! I can't wait. Johnny said, I haven't looked at the Buff schedule outside of the TCU game. Can't really predict anything.
I can bring it up right now if we want.
There we go. Nice. Yes. Let's definitely see who the Buffs are playing. But, I mean, like we talked about before, Johnny, that first game alone is going to be a test because TCU is got a lot of guys that went to the NFL. You know what I mean?
And they're going to TCU.
Obviously Duggan. Oh, they're going. Ooh. Yeah.
So, on the road to TCU, they host Nebraska, host Colorado State, go to Oregon, host USC, go to Arizona State, host Stanford, go to UCLA, host Oregon State, host Arizona, go to Washington State, and go to Utah to end the season.
I got maybe five wins.
1,
Say Arizona.
2, 3.
I didn't give Stanford.
4. Yeah, I'm gonna say 4 or 5.
Yeah.
5 being if they upset Colorado. TCU. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing because I can't see them beating Stanford. I'll give them Arizona. I can't
see. I actually have them beating Stanford.
You have them beating Stanford. What about Washington State?
That's another one I'm iffy on. So I could see the fact that Stanford's coming to them. That's why I like that. Okay. And they have to go to Washington State. That's why I'm iffy on that one. See, I'm thinking the ceiling is 7. Because I think you get Nebraska coming to you early, you could steal that one. You could steal TCU. You're going to beat Colorado State. So, potentially could start off 3-0. I don't think you will, but you potentially could. You're not beating Oregon. You're not beating USC. Arizona State is totally up for grabs. I have them beating Arizona State. So, I'll be conservative and say 2 wins now. I have them beating Stanford. Stanford coming to them. And, I mean, Stanford lost their quarterback, and they haven't been good in a while.
Yeah.
You ain't beating UCLA in LA. That ain't happening. You're not beating Oregon State. So I have them sitting at 3 wins right now, just being conservative. Arizona, I think you can take. Yeah. So I got 4 wins there. Washington State, I'm iffy on, and you ain't beating Utah.
No, yeah. Washington State was the one that it was iffy, but I gave them a benefit of the doubt and gave them the 5. I've seen things I've seen things with 2 and 10. I've seen predictions with 2 and 10, and I've also seen predictions at like 6 and 6. Let me ask you this, Alex: if by some off chance Deion gets those boys riled up and gets them bowl eligible at 6 and 6, does he get consideration for Coach of the Year?
I can't do that.
It's a stretch, I know, but there is nobody expecting him to do anything this year.
Okay, consideration, yes, I can give him consideration.
Yeah, I didn't say give it to him.
Yeah. I had to think about the question again. Yeah, I can give him consideration because if you take one of the teams that was one of the last 3 teams to win a single game last year, and you flip them into a bowl eligible team. Yeah. Okay,
Hey,
John.
dude,
Okay, Johnny. Bump the.
Wow. Yeah, hey, those are the two worst teams in the country, so I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Alex not seeing my comment is wild.
I think he was making a joke about watching the Beavers late at night. I was looking at my phone for the Colorado schedule. I'm sorry, Alex. That is funny though. I'll give you that.
Absolutely, yo, gotta love those late games between Maction and then I'm on the East Coast, so the games from the West Coast that don't start till like 10 p.m.
Oh
Love
yeah.
them both, man. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
People miss. Oh, I definitely missed that. Not that comment. Yo.
Wait,
so hey,
which
like
comment then?
What comment are you talking about, Alex?
It was before that comment.
You're right, the new host.
Yeah. Saw that.
You saw that.
Oh. All right. Alex, tell us which comment it was.
This is an interesting question because we are. Oh, my bad. Oh, sorry. This is an interesting question because we are still in the preseason. We know Coach Harbaugh was given the suspension, but at the same time, it was up in the air. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. The others. It's not like we're doing a live show.
I know. I just realized. I'm sorry.
Golly, and I shouted out Kurt. Goodness gracious. Can I get back to my question to Alex? Alex, what is the current status of Coach Harbaugh?
So technically, there is no suspension anymore for Harbaugh. So with the NCAA, anytime there's a punishment decided between the NCAA and a school or the specific coach, player, whatever it is, it goes to a sanctions committee, and they have to approve it for the actual penalty to be put in place. And that sanctions committee did not agree on the 4-game suspension. We don't know whether it was deemed too much, too little. If they just decided we don't have enough information on it, so they said no. So now everything is completely up in the air. We don't know if it's just getting swept under the rug. We don't know, because the next step would probably be a full hearing.
Yeah.
Like a whole proceedings, hearing everything that happened, talking to both sides, which we're not going to see anything this year. So especially if that happens.
Yeah. That was my next question. Is this going to be a situation, and not, ladies and gentlemen, we're not getting political, but it is kind of mirroring this where Trump is running for office, and yet he's in the middle of all the legal stuff, and they're potentially bringing up some cases like towards the beginning of the run. Is this going to be a situation where we're coming in like December, January, and all of a sudden they start saying, okay, now we want to go through with this? Or do you think it's definitely going to be pushed off to the off season?
Oh, the earliest I expect it is after the season next year. To me, it's, you probably won't hear anything about this till February, March, April, somewhere in there. Yeah. Because the other thing, and I was talking to my dad about this last night, is we could totally see if they levy a harsher penalty on and he's going to miss a majority of the season, he could just dip to the NFL again.
Oh, wow.
We saw teams were calling for him this year, and he decided to stay. If there's a job he likes and he's, say they give him like a 8 to 10 game suspension and he's going to miss pretty much the entire season next year, he might just be like, okay, give me the penalty, I'm out. Like,
that's a possibility.
So the NCAA could counter that by waiting until the NFL coaching carousel is gone, and then
it's the game. It's all a game, man.
No.
Yeah, but I hope at this point I hope he doesn't leave, because he has built up Michigan. He's built them back up to prominence, and it took some time. Those first 5 years when he was 2 and 6
in the COVID year.
Yeah, like Yeah, you mean they were having trouble with Ohio State, having trouble with even Michigan State at that point. To bring them out of that, now back-to-back victories over Ohio State, back-to-back trips, berths to the college football playoffs. Many expect them to be right back there at the end of this year. Going to the NFL, college. I wanted to stay here. I wanted to stay in college. I know you do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Dean, hashtag go Cat. Yeah, that was Cat that said that. You knew it was Cat. You knew it was Cat.
Yeah.
I'll be very happy with the Big Ten.
I disagree with this.
Except those other divisions. No. We need those other divisions. We need them, man.
Yeah.
So did he legitimately do anything wrong? And I think that's the question. Alex, go ahead.
So the original stuff that happened, I don't think he did anything wrong, especially the way NIL and all this BS is nowadays. On a recruiting trip, well, first off, when COVID first started, they did a recruiting dead period where you couldn't talk to the recruits, anything. And one of the coaches on his staff was communicating with a player. I don't know if Jim knew. I don't know if he didn't know. That hasn't really been determined. And then the other thing was on a recruiting trip. I don't know what year it was. He bought a kid a hamburger on the recruiting trip. Now the main thing was when they were investigating it last year, he lied and misled them. That's the main thing that he's going to get punished for, is the trying to steer them off course and lying to them about what happened and this and that. So, I mean, like, did he do anything wrong? Not really, but he lied.
Yeah.
So, should there be some form of punishment? Yes. For trying to mislead them, lying about something that small. But I thought a couple games, honestly. When I saw the 4 games, I was like, yeah, okay, sure, like, we'll take it. But I'm starting to wonder if that 4 games might have been the sanctions committee being like, no, that's a little too much. And it might, yeah, I guess so, Nathan. I don't really know, because it's hard to see 4 games for buying a kid a hamburger on a recruiting trip.
Right.
And for an assistant coach on your staff texting a kid during the recruiting dead period. 4 games for that seems a little excessive.
Come on now.
But
you got guys, opening suitcases full of money and, doing that type of stuff. And that's before the NIL deal. Now it's the Wild Wild West. They're doing it out in person. But a hamburger, when most of these kids are coming from places that they ain't ate in a couple, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. That's just a little bit.
Well, not to mention with NIL, some kids are making more than NFL players now.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
come on. Oh, here, Johnny D said, we don't need them, but 2 big conferences and dive into the regional division.
See, if you were going to do it that way, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I still... It's tough. Because, like, the history of all these conferences, like, the Pac-12, for example, was, like, just under 110 years as a conference. And it's gone like that. So we're throwing away over 100 years of history at the snap of a finger.
Right.
Like, and it's just, for example, with Oklahoma and Texas moving to the SEC, we no longer get that Bedlam game at the end of the season because Oklahoma and Oklahoma State aren't in the same conference. They're just not doing the game at all. What was the other one? TCU and SMU have a rivalry that's been going for like 110 years. They're throwing it away because of the uncertainty of which conference they'll be in by 2025. They're thinking 2 years ahead. We don't know which conference we'll be in, so we can't play our rivalry game anymore. That stuff to me is why we need stuff the way it was.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of Michigan playing USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, all these other big time schools. I can't wait to see that on a yearly or bi-yearly schedule. But it's just like, the history and those rivalries and everything. To me, we're throwing that away for money, and I don't like that.
Yep. And this is his
I mean, agreed.
But yeah,
I'd love Notre Dame to join a conference. Now, I don't think they'll join the Big Ten when it happens. I think they'll join the ACC as long as they're still standing. Their basketball programs
they're right. So they're already in the ACC somewhat.
They're
is always in flux and it changes that. Yeah, go ahead.
They're only independent for football because they have that NBC TV deal. But
right.
I mean, you start looking, and I looked it up yesterday. They're making about $30 million a year off their TV deal. New Big Ten deal is giving teams like 60 to 75 mil. SEC getting 60 to 75 mil. ACC is like 40, 45, somewhere in there, and they're going to negotiate a new deal probably pretty quick. So
yeah,
Notre Dame might look at that and be like, okay, we got to go. Like,
right. But now they're exclusive to NBC, and I mean, we talk about things from the past. That is one of those things that I knew. Even when I had the old school TV that had like 4 or 5 channels, I could click on Saturday morning, Channel 4, NBC, and Notre Dame was always going to be on there. And that's if for me, I don't want that change. I love that, even though we don't have the same channels. I mean, it's a part of life, man. It's what I've known, man. Ben said Johnny D, not always. And Ben and Johnny are going back. Change is inevitable. And don't forget, fellas, Notre Dame has new money deal with the Under Armour as well. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, nice.
See, but when you could have that and 60 to 75 coming in for TV, you know what I mean? Like,
always, look, you gotta take that money. Look, we are going to move on, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate all you guys talking in the comments and chatting back and forth with us. Real quick, we're gonna take a quick breather because I want to showcase a show that's on Monday night. Might not be on this Monday night because this Monday night, myself, my fiance will be going to FedEx Field to destroy some Ravens, baby. Monday Night Football in the preseason. It's interesting concept. But this show normally is on Monday nights. Myself, Sean Spencer, and my guy, Mr. Scott Thaller, we are always asking if he's telling the truth. So obviously the show is called Are You Kidding Me? Yeah, buddy. That was Are You Kidding Me? Myself and Scott Thaller. You see Scott is in the comments and always talking about some where is it? Some mascots. It's really hard for me to vote for mascots. Only easy when both Alex and Sean vote for the same one.
Or, I know, Scott, this is a pretty difficult concept, but you can vote for the one you like more.
Kind of how it was set up, man. Come on, Scott. Oh, man. Yo, thank you so much for all of you guys in the comments. Scott, Johnny, Nathan, Ben, Misador, man. We appreciate you guys sticking with us early on this Saturday morning. And get used to it because 1 week.
We're back.
1 week. Let's go. I'm excited. But look, we have been doing something this whole off season where we've been focusing on returning players, different positions in college football. We've gone through the entire offense. Last week, we hit the defense and interior line. So this week, we are going to go with linebackers, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, a number of great linebackers have left the last couple years. I think last year, big pick from the Texans was Will Anderson Jr. The Philadelphia Eagles got all the daggone. Oh, exactly. The Eagles got all the daggone D linemen and players out of the Georgia defense, so we know how that goes. But who's coming back? Who are some names that we should be looking for this year, and where are they playing out?
So I'll go 5-1 here. My number 5. I hate to do it, especially since there was some chiming in the background there. But number 5, I'm giving it to MSU. It's Cal Halliday.
Okay.
He's one of the few very, very good players on MSU. He's going to be the leader of that defense, and he's a hell of a player, so I got to give him some credit here. Number 4 for me, it's one of the guys that when we were talking the players that had their kids playing now for former players, we forgot to mention Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Yeah,
Clemson.
Will hit me up with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to give him some love. He's very good, and Clemson lost a lot of defense this year, so from last year, so he's going to have to be a key piece for them. Number 3 for me, I'm going to go Tommy Eichenberg from Ohio State.
Okay.
He's very good in the run game. He's getting better in the pass game, but he's more that old school traditional run stuffing linebacker. He's very good at it though. So give him number 3. Number 2, I'm gonna go Jamon Dumas Johnson from Georgia.
Yeah.
We've seen what these Georgia linebackers have done year after year after year. N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, those kind of guys. I'm expecting this to be pretty much the same. He's another very good athlete, very good linebacker. Had to give him some love, so he's in at number 2. And back-to-back SEC for number 1 and 2 because Harold Perkins Jr. from LSU.
Yes.
He's far and away the best linebacker this year. It's bar none. There's been a few of these positions where it's like Marvin Harrison and who else? Brock Bowers and who else? This is Harold Perkins Jr. and everyone else. So elite linebacker. He does it all. Extremely athletic, and he's far and away the number 1 player this year.
Yeah, Harold Perkins. I recommend if you have never seen Harold Perkins play, go back to watch. I believe it was the Arkansas game last year, and there was a stretch of 2 or 3 series where Harold Perkins, got a strip sack, got a couple sacks, tackled for losses. Was wreaking havoc on a very good Arkansas offense, and it was, and that was the first time I had seen him, and it was like, what? Who is this guy? And they were saying, he even had a down game in that game. Harold Perkins by far up there. He's that number 1 for me. I completely agree. I'm gonna give Jeremiah Trotter Jr. the number 2, and the reason why I'm gonna do that, he's got the pedigree from obviously we know his father, but he is now the guy at Clemson. He had those, Brian Brzee and Murphy, those guys up front.
And Trenton Simpson right alongside him. And
exactly. Now the attention, kind of similar to Georgia or Ohio State, where a lot of guys left, but some of the guys that were playmakers last year now are going to be pushed to the forefront. So I definitely think he's going to get up there. Our number 3s are the same. Ohio State. Was it Eichenberg?
Yeah,
Eichenberg out of Ohio State. I think him and Tuimoloau. There we go. Tuimoloau. I tried, man. I'm gonna get it.
One of these days.
Tuimoloau. I think these two are going to be integral parts in a defense that's going to be out to prove something. Obviously, we know about all the weapons they lost on offense and how much their defense has kind of been, I don't want to say slept on, but everybody talks about, Penn State, Michigan, all these other defenses, and they talked about how great the offense was at Ohio State. I'm glad to see that defense is getting a little love. I was watching some old school stuff, and they put up a video of Katzenmoyer, and he had the huge pads and the huge neck. Oh, man. I didn't like right. Yeah. I was never a fan of Ohio State, but I loved seeing that, man. That's football to me. So, and then number 4 for me, Georgia, Jamon Dumas Johnson. My guy had 70 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 3 pass deflections, the forced fumble a year ago. That team, like we said, they don't rebuild, they just reload. They just the next one up. And so I think he's going to wreak havoc among other guys. And then here, my number 5 is probably down in the top 10 for a lot of other people, but I got to show love, man. You know where I land. North Carolina, Cedric Gray, man, as a junior last year, made contact 122 times with 15 tackles for loss. Like this guy, this guy is a monster. But because we have games like we did against App State where our defense gives up 40 points, and you see how the rest of the defense is struggling, it's easy to overlook a guy like this. Cedric Gray, this guy, I'm needing for a breakout year. And any of you guys in the comments, if you guys want Drake May to go pro and be the start, he's going to need some help from his defense. So Cedric Gray is where I want to go with that 5. Christopher Cole saying, "Morning, guys. What's up, Chris?" Oh, I see our friend has returned.
He's back. He's been back the last few nights on the shows.
Yeah, Jason, where have you been, man? What's been going on with you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Now I'm saying you're back.
I'm scared to hear the answer of where he's been.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And hey, this is funny. It's funny, but it's actually truthful. Tommy DeVito, is he related to Danny DeVito? I highly doubt it, but
I'll look it up. But I think the answer is no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not. But I mean, it would make sense. It's interesting. Oh, here we go. I just want Drake May up for other things. Oh, okay. All right, Jason. You're cut. Yeah, buddy. So, look, those were our top 5 linebackers. Alex, is there anybody else that maybe we should be taking a look at that maybe we didn't mention?
So I'm going to throw a Michigan guy in there. That's not highly rated. I mean, like Junior Colson, Mike Barrett, they get all the recognition in Michigan at that linebacker position. But the guy I think is going to break out this year is Ernest Hausman, the transfer from Nebraska coming into his sophomore season. I think he's going to light it up. So he's my sleeper player to look out for.
My guy, and it comes right from your area, Big Ten. Abdul Carter out of Penn State.
Yeah.
He's wearing the number 11. And as we know, some of the greats at Penn State, NaVar Bowman, LeVar Arrington, some of those guys have wore that number 11. So
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons, right. That's a daunting task. So if he can do it, I love what he brings to the table, his speed, his quickness, his ability to, bring down the ball.
How many of these Penn State guys are on these lists?
I'm telling you, man. But there's a reason why you and I both thought Penn State could be that one hiccup for you guys this year. I mean, health, everything else considered, Penn State, man. If they get major play from their quarterback, 5-star, a young kid, if they get solid play from him, we already know what those running backs, how good they are. I know you don't like to hear this. I'm sorry, Alec. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Every year it's been Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State. This year, I think it's Penn State. Penn State worries me more than any of the other Big Ten teams this year. And it's not close.
No.
Penn State worries the hell out of me this year because they are such a good team this year.
Let's go. Shout out to Franklin, man. Get them boys rolling, man. It's going to be interesting to see. I hope they're able to do something, not at y'all's expense, but definitely, bring them back up to prominence.
If they beat us and it's a really good game, it is what it is, man. I could legitimately see both those two teams being a playoff team. I could see one of them getting in as that 1-loss 4-seed team. Now, you almost don't want to do that because you're going to have to play Georgia. Let's just be real. But, I mean, you're still in the playoff. And for a team like Penn State, if they can get back in, because I think have they been in? I don't think they've been in the playoff.
Not CFP.
No. So if they could finally get in, I know there was a year or two where they should have got in and they didn't. Kind of has this 4-seed here, but yeah, if they could get in, even if they win the Big Ten, obviously they're in. They're laughing. But if say we beat them and that's their only loss, then I could see them getting in as a 4-seed, especially if it's a really close game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to go back to the year that Saquon was there, where they went 11-2 or something like that, and they ended up playing USC in the bowl game.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest they've been to the CFP. I think you'd have to go back BCS and before for them to get that high. So it'll be interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was some of the linebackers we've been looking into. There's a lot more. Stay tuned on Tuesday when we finish this up, covering our secondary corners and safeties. We'll see who's coming back. But we have to move on. We appreciate y'all being here with us, getting close to the end. But there's one segment that our dear friend Scott always seems to show up for. And maybe it's because he has a couple gripes with it. Whatever it is, he's still here. He wants to see it. We got to talk about our Mascot Madness update. Yeah, buddy. Mascot Madness Challenge number 2 is underway. The first round is done. Now this is the second round of games, Alex. I didn't get any calls to do any coin flips, so
we're gonna need it. We're gonna need it.
Okay, all right. Let me get the cord ready. Let's go.
We got 2 tiebreakers this week, so
let's
go. Here, all right. So actually, the coin is for the first one here.
Okay, let me get one. Hold on. Alrighty. Here we go.
All right. So the Hokie Bird and the Cardinal Bird, Virginia Tech and Louisville, tied at 4 apiece. So heads is Hokie, tails is the Cardinal.
All right. Here we go. Heads.
All right. So the Hokie Bird moves on. All right, and in the other matchup for that top section of that bracket, Rock the Panther against Monty and the Aztec Warrior. Monty won 6-3.
Say it again. I just read the message.
Monty beat Rock 6-3. So Monty is moving on to play the Hokie Bird. That one goes.
Yeah.
In the Big 12 section of the bracket, the Mountaineer faced off against Bruiser of Baylor. The Mountaineer won 6-3. Mountaineers moving on.
Go.
And who will they face between Raider Red of Texas Tech and Ace the Warhawk of ULM? It is a 5-4. Ace moves on. So it's Ace versus the Sunbelt versus Big 12 in the Big 12 bracket. It is what it is. Moving to the Big 10 section of the bracket, there's only one Big 10 team left. And did they get through? It's Herky versus Howell of Arkansas State. With 8 votes, Herky won 5-3. Herky's moving on. And the other side of that one, Benny the Beaver of Oregon State against Alfie and Wolfie Jr. of Nevada. With 7 votes, Benny's moving on 4-3, so it's Herky and Benny. Iowa versus Oregon State. I'm excited to see how that one goes.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely excited.
In the Pac-12 section of the bracket, Dubs and Harry the Husky of Washington going up against Trojan and Traveler of USC with 8 votes. Trojan wins 6-2. Trojan's moving on.
Yep.
And this is where we need the coin. So Joe and Josephine.
Hold up, let me address this real quick. You see this? Scott, one side, 2 sides, not double-sided. I'm using the right one. Let's go. We're not voting for you guys because then it would be double-sided.
Yeah. So Joe and Josephine Bruin of UCLA is tied at 4 apiece with Big Blue of Utah State. So heads is the Bruins, tails is Big Blue.
All right, here we go. Heads.
This is just proving Scott's theory here.
It's heads, Scott. Come on.
Although I'm kind of happy it happened that way because in the next round, It's the Battle of LA. Trojan and Traveler against Joe and Josephine Bruin.
Yes, I love that.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
All right, moving up to the SEC section of the bracket. Revi, however you say the name, and Bully. I don't gotta worry about saying that name anymore because Bully won 7-3. Bully, the Bulldog, is moving on for Mississippi State. And in the other section of the SEC bracket, the Rebel Black Bear of Ole Miss going up against the non-SEC Billy the Warrior of Hawaii.
Yes.
Billy won 6-3. Billy
What?
moving on. Yeah. Billy 6-3 moving
Hawaii?
on. Hawaii versus Mississippi State in the Sweet 16.
Ooh.
You love to see it.
Oh yeah. Is this our upset? Is this our Cinderella?
This might be our Testudo.
Yes.
All right, moving to the next section of the bracket here. We have Captain Kane of, I believe, Tulsa versus Jonathan the Husky of UConn. I'm not going to have to remember where Captain Kane's from anymore because Jonathan the Husky won 6-3. UConn is moving on. Similar to the March Madness bracket, UConn just keeps winning. They're moving on.
Yep.
The next section of that bracket, Petey, the Pirate of East Carolina, goes up against Flash of Kent State. Petey won it in the landslide 7-1. Petey is moving on to face Jonathan. So UConn against ECU.
Oh man. Oh, I like that matchup.
I do like that one too. That one's going to be a lot of fun. The next part of the bracket here, we have Owlsy, the burrowing owl of FAU against Blaze, the dragon of UAB. Similar to how it would go in an actual battle, the dragon beats the owl. Blaze is moving on with a score of 5-4. The other matchup, Seymour DeCampus of Southern Mississippi, is up against Zippy of Akron, and it went a lot like people would expect. Seymour beat Zippy 6-3. Seymour's moving on. Blaze the Dragon and Seymour DeCampus in the Sweet 16, and in the MAC section of the bracket, we had Victor E. Bull of Buffalo going up against Charlie Cardinal of Ball State, and the Bull beat the Cardinal. Victor's moving on. 6-3 was the score there. So Victor E. Bull is Sweet 16 bound. And the Battle of Michigan, Swoop of Eastern Michigan against Buster Bronco of Western Michigan with 8 total votes. Buster's moving on with a score of 5-3. So it's Buster Bronco against Victor E. Bull to see the MAC.
Oh, I love that.
We are
MAC.
Sweet 16 bound, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, buddy. Love that action. Let's get it. Scott, I'm going to address this. We don't see the coin when Sean flips it. And you don't need to see the coin, all right? We're doing this stuff fair. Just because your team got ousted in the very first round, in the very first tournament, don't take it out of everybody else. All right, Scott? Come on, man. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, those are your second round matchups going into now the Sweet 16 of the Mascot Madness Challenge. Again, we appreciate you guys diving in. And with some of these matchups that are coming up, especially USC, UCLA.
A lot of fun.
Exactly. So we're going to start seeing, man, like a lot more attention narrowed down to a lot of these other teams. Again, this is for Scott and everybody else. If your team lost early, we will be doing another one where your team might be able to get in there. If they lose again, that's not on us.
Yeah.
That's on you. You didn't get your people to vote.
Next bracket will be the teams that didn't make it out of the first round in this bracket and the last bracket. So we'll mash them together, make one last bracket, see who the biggest loser is, and we'll go from there.
Yes. And maybe, Scott, you'll get the prize for the biggest loser for Missouri. I don't know. But look, we're trying, Scott. We're trying, man. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys being here with us. We're almost at an hour. A week from today, we will be getting off the show, getting ready to turn on TVs left, right, and center, watching multiple games. And I, for one, can barely contain my excitement.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. I cannot wait.
You two are the mascot mafia.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'll take that nickname.
I'll take that. Exactly. I'll definitely take that. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming close to the end of the show. And as you know, I mean, it's season, right? I mean, we're back and we're all about winning. And when you're tied at the end of the game or you're down by one, you don't try to go for a tie. And for today, we got a special going for two today. We got a special going for two. Our guy Will reached out to some people and they reached back out at us. Apparently they checked out our show and they kind of dug it. A little close to home for my guy over here, Mr. Blue.
Yeah, very much so.
Let's and close to me as well because he played in Washington. Let's check this out.
Alex and Sean, John Jansen here. Always love to talk to a couple of fellow podcasters. Hey, I want to wish you guys all the luck in the world. Great ratings, great downloads, clicks. And hey, there's nothing better than, we can have all the talent in the world, but there's nothing better than some great wins. Michigan is going to have a bunch of wins this year. Makes life a lot easier. Detroit's going to have some wins, and hopefully Washington does as well. We'll see how Sam Howell does, but there's a lot to talk about. And hey, I always talk about the fact that I love what I do, and it's easy to talk about football. There's a ton of material to talk about, but it takes a lot of work to be really good at what you're doing. So make sure you put in the work, make sure you put in the effort, separate yourself from the rest of the podcasters. And hey, Alex and Sean, I know you guys do the college football one together. I'd be interested to see where you guys have the top teams ranked. I know Michigan in both the AP and the coaches poll are at 2. I'm excited about that. I'm actually in Michigan football right now in the scout room, and I could not be more excited than I am right now about this team. And whether it's Detroit, Washington, it doesn't matter. It's the NFL is so exciting, and NFL is king. You guys know that. So have a great year. Love what you do. Put in all the work. It'll pay off. And I look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Go Blue, go Skins, and let's go Lions.
Yes, sir.
Woo! Let's get it. Alex, how you feel, baby?
Oh, man. So I worked all day and then came home yesterday to see that. And freaking John Jansen's one of my favorite all-time Michigan linemen. So
yeah,
to first of all just have that video, I was like, holy crap. And then to reference the show and to ask us to like reach back out to him, over the moon, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't, like, when I saw it, I know I sent the voice message to you, Will. I was just flabbergasted. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? He watches? He pays attention to what we got going on? Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, look. So, for today, and appreciate all the love you guys are giving us, man. Johnny said, get noticed. And Nate said, let's get it. I said, great job, y'all.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
We're going to take today's going for two to reach back out. Talk to him, maybe ask him a couple questions. And since he was sitting in your happy place, he was sitting somewhere in that stadium, most likely.
Man.
Go ahead. Let's give you a message. I'll go ahead and come back, and then we'll leave after this.
Well, first off, thank you. Well, Will, thank you, Will, for reaching out to him. And then thank you, John, for sending that video. As far as like where we got Michigan and some of these top teams, I mean, mine was pretty similar to the AP poll. I had Georgia 1, Michigan 2. I had Ohio State 3. I had Florida State 4, or no, LSU 4, Penn State 5. That was my top 5. And then FSU, USC, those teams are all in the mix there. Just thank you. And as always, go Blue. I'm expecting a big year for Michigan.
Love that. Love the go Blue. Obviously, they had to come in. Yeah, no, for me, I mean, hey, when we get up and do these videos, especially on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, a lot of times it's myself and it's Alex. A lot of times we're rolling out of bed or getting up to, try to
literally.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of times when nobody's watching. It's just me and Alex talking back and forth. So to first have all the comments is amazing, but then to be recognized by somebody, a great from Michigan. Obviously, he had his time with the Redskins. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
The
logo was up there. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can dig it. So, I mean, it is an honor just to, be in that conversation and just for you to reach out to us. So we definitely appreciate that.
Oh,
As far as my top 4 goes Georgia, goes Michigan. Number 3, I know they lost the pieces, but definitely Ohio State. And then for me, I know we talked about this on the last show, and they don't have a lot of pieces coming back, but as long as Saban is there, I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'll throw them at 4 right now. But like you said, FSU, LSU, Penn State, some of these, that's 6, 7, 8 for me, and Clemson, and I think USC or something like that. So
USC, Washington, Oregon.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Honestly, to be honest, and we discussed this last week, this should have been the year where the 12 started, where the 12-team playoff started, because there's so many nice teams up at the top that we really think can make it. So again, we appreciate you, and hopefully we can get you back on the show.
That would be awesome.
The invite is there, Mr. Jansen. Come on and be on Let's Talk College Football, man. It's going to be great. So, Alex, another great one, man. Great one. Yo, so for me, your boy Sean Spencer, my guy, Mr. Alex Loosemore. We will be back this Tuesday, but after that, we won't be back with you until football is back.
Yes,
baby.
Sir.
Let's get it. Cannot wait. Wait a sec. Scott said I'm gonna have Barry Sanders do a video for Are You Kidding Me? Hey, Scott, if you do, man, tell him, hey, I need him to sign the jersey, baby. Let's go. Oklahoma State. Let's get it. Yo. So, hey, we appreciate you guys being here with us and tuning in, man. We will be back with you Tuesday night. Stay tuned. Obviously, actually, Alex, talk to us. Restoring the Roar, NFL edition. What's going on with you guys this week?
So Restoring the Roar is moving to Wednesdays now. Just the NSD schedule, it opened up that time slot. Terribly Toxic's moving to a scheduled podcast more now. So moving Restoring the Roar to Wednesdays. NFL edition Thursday nights between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern. Whenever we get together, whenever we'll roll, and then NSD Fridays.
I can dig it. Yes. So Mondays, as you know, Diversity with Delilah. Truth be told, depending on Nick's schedule, he's back over at Wrigley working his butt off. Got a new promotion. So shout out to Nick.
Yes.
This week, Are You Kidding Me? With me and Scott Fowler will not be going on because me, Catherine, and some of the family will be going to the Washington versus Baltimore game at FedEx Field. So I might be doing something for Washington Football Weekly there. Tuesday night, let's talk college football, and then Tales from the Driver's Side. I got to get with Johnny on that. Washington Football Weekly Wednesdays, and let's talk college football next Saturday, baby. So there it is. That's what we got, and we're gonna end on this note. Everyone vote for Truman Tiger, even if you have to. Right?
Why do you think I make the poll so nothing else can be added?
Right.
Truman will be added to every single one.
Everyone, right? And he'll have one vote. Yeah. Tales from Driver's Side is on hiatus because football season is started. So we will bring that. We'll bring clips of things like that later down the line. But since college and pro football season is literally upon us, we're going to take a little quick breather on that. So Tuesdays, the last college show for Tuesdays will be this coming Tuesday. After that, Tuesday nights will be Terribly Toxic, because I don't think LTF has anything on Tuesday. Oh, the roundtable, but that'll be back during the football season. So
yeah,
there it is. Then there it is. Football is here.
Yeah,
absolutely. We dive you crazy.
I think he means drive.
I know what he means. I'll give him a hard time. All right, people. Hey, we're out of here, man. Have a good day. Relax. Enjoy yourself. And for your teachers, this is their last weekend of freedom. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is my last weekend without football, so I'm gonna let's go. All right, peace, people.